Hello. Is that better? Hey, new mic. Yeah, it's a new Rode mic. Thank you everyone for being lovely enough to help fund me getting a good mic. I did just do all the new sound settings, so let me know if it sounds okay, if it's too loud, too quiet. I just, want to make sure it sounds all right. New mic, who dis? Exactly, Metal Mario. Right, who's here? Who's here? We got Fat Cat with first place. Damn, girl, hell yeah. Rise with second. Flashbox is here. Fat with the snipe, very good. Fat can snipe when she wants to snipe. And 4Wolf with the resubscription. Time goes fast, 2 months. It does. And Sovest, been subscribed for 8 months. Lurking now while I do roulettes on Kool-Aid Karen. Y'all, if you haven't been following Kool-Aid Karen's journey on the Discord, what are you doing? Fastest fingers in the West, I bet, Fat Cat. Yovel, hello as well. Noir, no like Fat Cat. Hey, don't be mean just because you can't get first place, Noir. That just sounds petty. He's like, Fat Cat over here got no life getting first place. Oh. We aren't forcing you to, I am not. I'm actually doing quite well right now. And Fat Cat with a gifted sub to my wife. you know she's my wife, right? You know, she doesn't need a sub. Stop trying at this point. Oh, the old give up excuse. I gotcha. Figures you're still in pain, wouldn't stream. I'm doing pretty good. I still have some like pain in my hip, but not much. It's just a little fall. Oh. Arielu, hello. Ryu as well. Let's see. Witchy, hello. Pip as well. Oh, Tanaka, hello. Witchy. Oh, goodness. Shine with the resub. 7 months. I called you Shine. I just regressed back 7 months ago. Keo, thank you. Oh, my gosh. Oh. Got yourself a new streamer mic with a pop filter. So fancy, right? Does the mic sound good, y'all? Time goes past 2 months. It has been for. And so, thank you. Thank you for supporting me for. Creek as well. Hello. Fade! Fade's here! Fade-chan! Sound with a deeper voice now, so you can sound what my voice actually sounds like. Oh. I have a deep voice for y'all. Sky as well. You're not here? Oh, sorry. Where is Sky? I haven't seen them in forever. Noir with 5 gifted. Holy moly, starting off with a bean already. Thank you. And Noir, we have either Barf or Peach. Let's go. A Peach? I think it's the first time I've ever gotten Peach. Get wrecked, Noir. Action as well. So last night, I hope you're feeling better. Glad to see you. I'm glad to see you too. Thank you. Catrixie? What was that right? Cat Trixie? Welcome on in. How'd you find me? And Red Werewolf as well. You did, Lil? Yeah. Sunset as well. Hi. Hanging around during a dead, boring day of work. Literally nothing has happened all day. Oh my gosh. I feel that back when I was working retail. There would be some days at GameStop where a customer wouldn't come in for an hour and a half. I'd just be sitting there. And you can't be on your phone. So I was, of course, off camera on my phone. Exactly how you're supposed to be. But Noir, thank you for the 5 gifted subs, even though I've, completely and totally made fun of you from the start of the stream. With you was at Tuesday, so doing stuff to cap tomes. Yeah, I have some tomes, actually, surprisingly. We did a lot of maps on Friday on Patreon night. Logging in a moment, it was just straight passed out mid-Photoshop. Oh, no, funny. The bean betrayed you? No, the bean didn't betray you, Noir. The bean is making up to me all the horrible times I've had. Not one customer all day. Your day ends in 30 minutes. That's like, most people will be like, oh, that's really awesome. It must have been, an easy day. But it's so boring. Sitting around for 8 hours waiting. New week, new 450 cap. I haven't hit the first one, but hey, I get to go up again. And Red Kai, hello. Next beam will be bad. Are you cursing me? Is that what's happening? Oh, and I want to say thank you to those who got the Factor meal while I wasn't streaming. I know that we ended last stream with 7 and now we're at 9. So a couple of y'all came in and were super nice enough to support me by going through our sponsor, Factor. If you're interested, scroll down to the panels below and click that. Or if you want to take a look at it, you can go exclamation B-O-R. Click the link. Oren, hello. How you doing today? Hello, cutie. Hello, cuties as well. Hello. All right, I need you all to be honest. How does the mic sound? I spent about 2 hours yesterday trying to get it to work, and it was a lot. Oh, sounds good. Thank you. You legit sound great. Oh my god, I spent so many hours. I need to show you all this. I built like all these filters and compressors and noise gates to try to make it sound professional. So much trial and error. And the worst part is I'm very, very bad at technology. So I couldn't figure out how to get monitor in my ears. So I just kept recording my voice, ending the recording, listening back to it, and then doing it again with a different change. It was definitely the most boomer thing I've ever done. You're understandable, so content with current settings. You know what? That works for me. 7, hello! Technology is your second job? No. Talking into a mic and making people feel happy is my second job. The the electronic part of it is about 6 layers of duct tape and some chewing gum. When I updated my OBS before, it kicked out my stream key and I had to figure out all over again how to set it back up. Just the gremlins. Oh, yes. But how you doing, 7? You do your job well. Hey, I try. But we are now going to be going into the 6.1 patch content, which when we get the BGM back on. There we go. Might be a slight audio delay. I don't know how to fix that now, but I can figure it out after stream. Did I watch the 6.1 trailer? I have not. I was informed by my mods that I should not watch it because it spoils stuff. Just play Vampire Survivors on your phone will be... Oh my god, Vampire Survivors is so good, Noir. I haven't played it for like 3 updates, but up until then, every update, I 100%ed it. And thank you for the hype train to start. It's 9 gift subs already. Holy moly, y'all. Which means, yeah, we're actually 1 off for 1 more bean. So if anyone wants to gift out a sub, maybe... There we go. Andrew, thank you so much for the resub. 4 months already. Holy moly. And there we go. That's the next one for a bean. We have stink butt or toasted marshmallow. Nope, there it is. Man, I hate marshmallow so much. Oh. Oh no. Oh. Oh. Had a tornado warning yesterday? Oh my god. I'm assuming you're safe now because you're talking, but how close did it get to you? The curse worked? I was cursed. All right, chat, stop being interesting. Stop being interesting. I need to progress in a video game, right? That's what you all are here for, video games. So, they managed not to only expand the fissure, but also manipulate it as one might a gate. Astonishing. Any chance I could learn more of how this feat was accomplished? I will tell you what I can. First, however, I must return to the High Crucible, arrange to replace the Guardians you so handily destroyed. Whoops. Sorry about that. It will not do to leave the gate undefended. Yes, my apologies. We were perhaps a touch zealous in our rush to uncover Vault's secrets. If the constructs can be repaired, we'll be happy to offer our assistance. Vatron's like, you've done enough. Stop. Had a flood a few days ago. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, Persona. Hopefully it's, Shaping up all right. Oh, what have I missed? You missed me talking to chat for about 15 minutes and then 2 lines of dialogue. How you doing, Ty? And do we have any snipers in chat for Ty? And Grim as well. Good morning. Ooh, not morning for me. It's about 6:40 right now.
That will not be necessary. Much as I retain sparse vessels for myself, we keep duplicate guardians on hand for such eventualities. In any case, we should return to Razatan.
They haven't addressed the fact that there was a guy who came here and died. Like, we're just gonna gloss over that. Iris! Thank you with a gift sub! Thank you! We have now set our new counts, so we're at 1 bean out of 5. 1 sub gifted to 5 of bean. Me talk good, make sentence. Study the area above the entrance before you go. Ooh. Well. Well. Oops.
One lonely member of the council.
Anybody return? It's no big deal. Okay, good. Good. My bad. Which dialogue choice did he choose? Oh, the sassy one, Grim. I had to go with the sassy one. Stola's gonna kill me, by the way. Oh, for those of you who didn't hear, I added new sound alerts as a, how to phrase it, a send-off, we'll say, to... Why isn't it... Why... There we go. This.
How very glib.
Hey, there we are. Chose the Death Glare one? Of course. Of course. How could I not choose the Death Glare one? You have a new glam faune? Hell yeah. And Irish, hello. Just finished watching your reaction to Shadowbringers trailer. Well, welcome on in. How you doing today, Irish? And any snipers there? You still was blind but still stared daggers. Yeah, right? You still can't even see me and still was like, you motherfucker. They ungender... they ungender locked what? What did they ungender lock?
I promise we'll discuss the Void Gate further, but first I must attend to the matter of the Vault Sentinels. As your instruments have no doubt informed you, the Kapikulu have been reduced to so much scrap. Please bring a new one at the storage and see that it is conveyed to his post along with some few lesser constructs. Woo! Iris, thank you for gifting to Yasha. Wait, are we doing a pay it forward? That's so, I mean, Iris, thank you so much. Was it tomb robbers? Beings born from the Tower of Zot? By the sisters, do not tell me a blasphemy yet roams free. Ooh. Ooh. I feel like we're all feeling slight guilt, and then Graha is he's just so sad. He's like, I'm sorry, I messed up. The shifty eyes. Oh, so it's role quests to do? I do still have role quests to do, that is true. Graha's a terrible poker face. Oh, we established that when he had to go get the crystals. The Aura Alchemist looks so weird. In what way? I mean, I think it looks pretty cool. Why such guilty faces? Surely isn't you who are responsible for this? Oh. Well, the details are important. I shall see it done immediately. And chat, now that I have this new mic, you know what I'm gonna be doing? I'm gonna be starting some voice acting. I'm gonna try to build a reel and get something going on Fiverr as well. And with that, the vault will soon be secure once more. Now, I believe you have questions. Quite a few, in fact. Like to begin with the gate itself. Still functional, yes?
Mel Al-Ra, Shadow the Hedgehog Hair is classic. Oh yeah. Pantsless with the first Ara Ara on the new mic. Hell yeah. Ara, you degen. Oh, then Sunset with the second. Not to be outdone. Ara, you degens. You degens. Sorry I broke your toy. We chose promise for only trying to rob you. Real, I mean, come on. You got magic treasures. You got like a whole vault, a whole like history of money, and they had money in there too. It wasn't like, oh, it's just sealing the void gate. There was money. Mel Al-Ra, Shadow the Hedgehog is classic. Hell yeah, Arizim.
Indeed, which is why I saw it sealed with the alchemically forged lock and warded it with my magics. Such power must not fall into the wrong hands. In truth, the primary reason the vault's construction was to keep the gate hidden from the outside world. So much effort for such a little door. That little door you speak of leads to an abyss teeming with unspeakable horrors. That said, in its current state, it would only emit only the lowest of void scent, and from this side, no member to pass through.
No man. I should think Alfino would fit, given a firm enough push. sorry, redo. No man. I think Alfino... I think Alfino would fit, given a firm enough push. I got through it. It's the fancy equivalent of Retris saving his money in a mattress.
Physical size is only one consideration. The true restriction hinges upon the etheric density of the soul in transit. And yet to succeed in expanding this diminutive portal and sending a simulacrum through the 13th. Thanks to my brilliant alchemists, I should have destroyed the anomaly when I found it, but instead, I bade them devise a means to control it. After much experimentation, they accomplished the impossible, a method which conceived by which my magics could manipulate the fissure and transform it into a serviceable gate.
It's funny because Alfino is short. It's funny because Alfino is short and a punching bag.
But the process had long since been forgotten. Once I had given up searching for Asdaya, I can't remember how it's pronounced. There was no need to preserve such esoteric and dangerous knowledge. Thus has the gate lain dormant for years uncounted. Our own passage to the 13th was made relatively simple thanks to the Crystal Tower. Ancient mechanism channeled the tower's vast stores of energy to open a void gate, one bound to a covenant made with the Cloud of Darkness. Once that sovereign entity was beaten back, however, the covenant was broken and the doorway served from its connection of the wall.
Asdaya? Okay, thank you.
Theoretically, it should be possible to reconnect the gate by forging a new pact with another void scent, but such deals usually end in betrayal and death. In any case, we should attempt to gain an understanding of the Bounty Gate. I hope you could resume the search for your sister. As I've already explained, I put those futile hopes to rest centuries ago. My place and my duty is here now. Ah, I had meant to ask, what prompted you to search for the vault in the first place?
Treasure!
It was all Obsidian's idea. As I recall, it was you who was chasing tales of undersea ruins.
Well, as you have seen, the fabulous wealth from the stories is quite real. It's not its rumored origin. I'm afraid I must assert the prior claim. I've been adding to that trove for years, little by little. The time has come to spend it, and I might alleviate my people's suffering.
And we have one mind. We had no intention of taking it for ourselves. You didn't, Justinian. You didn't have any intention. Although, doing maps, I've made a shit ton of gil. I'm almost at 1 million now. Today's just a day of throwing everyone under the bus, huh? What can I say? I put so much on my shoulders, now I have to, toss it someone else's way. I've been doing lots of finger pointing lately. I don't know what you're talking about, Faye. In fact, I think that no one's gonna snipe Faye. Finger point. You're at 62 mil now, holy moly. Isn't that right, my friend?
Your Excellency, would you object if I were to conduct a closer examination of the gate? Make no attempt to open it, of course.
Well, she got her fingers crossed behind her back.
I owe you in yours a debt we can never be repaid. Whatever boon you ask of me, you shall have it. You're most gracious. Take full advantage of your permission.
Would that I could join thee in thy study, but the Loperates will be anxious to receive my report. I beg my leave of you.
I must be off to Charlene as well. Mistress Crow was eager to speak with you about the request, so please come back to the attic as soon as you're able. Farewell for now. We can discuss my finding once I return. Not rid of me so easily.
2 more Gilsing mounts worth 50 mil each. That's terrifying. Lessa, hello! Currently joining the crafting rush. Grispgill is still selling for 21k per git.
That means something, I'm assuming. Is that a crafting material?
How you doing? Now Cowboy goes to prep the Alliance raid.
Alliance raid? Ooh. The difficult part in all this, we're deciding how best to put the riches to use. You lend me your assistance in these deliberations.
Anything to make up for the constructs we broke. Anything.
And think of your employment as recompense. Serve me as a guest advisor, and I'll consider broker constructions paid in full.
Delay and I in this together. I'll follow his example. It's a glue? Gotcha. A cutscene? Meanwhile, elsewhere. Oh. Hello? Is this the void? It seems kind of voidy, I will say. Ew. Was it chaos? Like, oh no, we already had chaos. The boss music enters. Oh, whoa. Holset, how you doing? Anyone sniper and shaft for Holset? Final Fantasy IV fans rejoice. I need to play Final Fantasy IV. I own it. I just need to stream it.
I sensed the breaching of a gate, but it was not instigated from this side. It was thrown open from the other. I too felt it. A rare occurrence, yes, but such a tiny portal is beneath our notice. There are more pressing matters at hand.
Me too, Arizona. I've never played 4 before. If you played this would be extremely hype. So what you're saying is, I should play 4.
An opportunity is upon us, the coming of which we've awaited for nigh on 10,000 years. We do not slip our grasp. Yet we must not underestimate he who bested the cloud of darkness. Even restrained by a covenant, the cloud was no feeble wisp to be dispersed by some flesh and blood mortal.
Can't wait to see your Throne of Wind voice. You gotta stick with it. Hopefully you liked it.
Let him come. I will drown the world and watch this fleshling gasp for breath in his final moments.
You're disappointed by how accurate I am? Wait, what? Hiroshi? Shouldn't I be... Shouldn't it be happy that I'm accurate? What? I sniped all of them, are you saying?
Your zeal is admirable, but forget not our cause. Think back on our struggles beneath the sunless sky. Remember why we see not our will to fight. 'Tis time we set war in motion and win redemption for our star.
Ooh, cut to black. Ooh, Shim, how you doing? How is the island? I've only played it twice. Oh, I need to check out the new glam. Yeesh. Oh. Okay. Porgo. It's very it's very much so the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. And thank you for the cargo, which I will immediately summon. My first ever dog, although technically it was Amanda's dog, was a corgi. Her name was Sandy. And yes, that is Sandy after SpongeBob. From Valentine's a few years ago? Well, thank you so much. Could have been here soon. Took a nap with my kitten. Honestly, valid. And Cypher, hello, how you doing today? Faulkner, apologies for my tardiness. Life caught up to me. Feeling better? I'm feeling a lot better, Faulkner. How you doing? And Ferez, oh my gosh, everyone's piling on in. Hello, everyone, though. Let me give some hugs for everyone all around. Council members. The meeting costs 8 million gil. Flashbacks! Why do y'all keep giving me crazy expensive things and not letting me know they're crazy expensive? Don't tell them the price? Flashbox! How could you? Good evening. Hey, Zervit, how you doing? Just got my Ruby Gwyber?
I don't know what that is, Cypher.
It's only 5 mil on your server, bet.
Shall we begin? Where to spend the treasure wisely, you must first determine which groups would benefit most from the monetary assistance. Some of my citizens may find it intimidating to speak with the satrap directly. I ask you act in my stead. Player, you are to visit Akali and Yedelmad. Speak with Masya and his people, and listen to their grievances. Estinian, I bet you do the same in Palakistan. Be conducting my own inquiries in the Giant Skull grounds. Once you believe you have ascertained the needs of the populace, we can reconvene at the Megaduta.
Damn it, every time. I always forget it's called the Megaduta, and it's funny, man. Whippers are the Shadowbringers extreme mounts. Oh, gotcha. I'm glad you got that. That's awesome. How long have you been farming for it? Oh, it's from Ruby Weapon specifically. Mega doo-doo. Come on, Chocobo. Enough for me, then this week's Unreal had enough to buy another. You're so nice, Flashbox. Thank you. So while we're walking over, if y'all don't notice, we have this down here. We are sponsored by Factor. Factor is a meal kit service. It's similar to what you get for like Hello Apron, all those meal kit services, except they are all pre-made, not like frozen shitty like lean cuisine, but they're actually really tasty. They have a lot of different variety: keto, vegetarian, extra protein, and you can use my code, which it's right below, code !Factor in chat, or if you scroll down, there's a button you can click right there, take you right over. You get 60% off of the first box, which you can get meals for $5 a pop. It's crazy. Don't you diss lean cuisine? That shit was bussin'. Hello Apron and Blue Fresh, exactly. Exactly. Just farming Gaius's kids for mounts. Oh no! Just chill at the moment. I would be on 14, but Genshin's do updates tonight. Oh no. Oh no. You want to think Taleo do the myth of the realm? What is that? Iris with another gifted sub. Dang, Iris. Got the machine gun snipes out here. And we are one off of our next bean. Oh, Masi, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, Taleo, I was so glad to see you had returned unharmed. You're finished with the boat, then? Anything the village desperately needs? Well, I suppose Kazal's loss hit us the hardest. I've been trying to find buyers for my fish. Although I sell a few here and there, so much more difficult than it was before. Fat Cat! Converted from a Prime sub to a Tier 1 sub? What? What?
And Fat Cat, I think that means you have a golden toolbox. Is that what it means? Can you type in chat for me? Another stink bug or toasted marshmallow? Oh, it's slightly like a spice to it. Oh. Oh. Sundered? Yep. Yep. But yeah, Fat Cat, you're part of the 3-month gang. Golden badge. Somebody already make him a set of Renacita gear? Flashbox may be like a really high-end set of gear.
Everyone's still struggling to rebuild their lives. For now, we're just banding together as best we can.
Roll Prey tournament Memphis Q Roulette? Hell yeah. Yeah, marshmallows? Yeah, they do not like me. And somehow, Faye, you keep dodging the snipes. You're impressive. I didn't know that you had such nimble dexterity.
Greetings and welcome, traveler. If this is your first visit to Thavnia, then you must try my special Armalas. Refreshing zest cannot be beat. What could such a wonder cost, you wonder? Normally I part with 3 bottles for the generous price of 19,800 gil. But for you, one sell them for as low as even 10,000. You'd be practically stealing them from me.
I am not a Stydian. 595 minimum level for the newest raid. I have that, I'm pretty sure. I'll look at my gear in a second.
A Stydian, who is... Oh, you're the one who was with the spear-touting fellow. Well, you can hardly blame a man for trying. That board may no longer be on fire, but we're still sifting through the ashes, so to speak. Sisters, spare me. We might as well give the ugly tower back for the scant few travelers we see these days. I myself barely have the coin to buy at local prices. I tell you, if I didn't charge the odd adventurers a small fortune for afternoon tea, I'd be around scavenging for scraps in the street.
Hello, Fane. Hug. I'm not sure if y'all have seen, but Fane, our own little Fane-chan, has been streaming recently. Give me a second. She has been streaming a lot of the new Pokemon game and has been doing a ground type only run through. So if y'all could just do me a quick favor, there's 70 of you here. I've just posted Fane's Twitch right there. Click it, give it a follow, get her up to 50 an affiliate, help another fellow chatter out, right? Funny-chan says given the Ara. I don't know what you're talking about. We have a documented and recorded Ara from Fane. In fact, Oh, so I don't mean to interrupt this like beautiful sentimental conversation, but I do need to honor a degenerate in chat. There you go, Roxy, you degen. Oh, we got a mod Ara. There you go. Don't worry, we got one. Documented, recorded, uploaded, saved on a second hard drive, backed up, cloud saved. Everyone's got to keep it somewhere. Can't let it die.
Oh. Oh, there's the port. Well, it's in shambles, isn't it? The trade routes are open once more, now that the danger is past, certainly. No small number of merchants have to sell their ships to make ends meet in the short term. Add that to the sailors we lost in the final days, and little wonder the flow of exports is no more than a pitiful trickle. Kazal and his consortium was still with us. I'm sure they've found a way to turn our fortunes around. Now that a man who got things done, God rest his soul.
Welcome, local figures. To the Megaduta. So, y'all just heard Fane Ara Ara. You know the kind of content that she can provide. So, that link is in chat again. You can click it and go follow. Can? You will. You will click it and go follow. Would you like Corgo as well? Already did? Hell yeah, Cypher.
Ah, my advisor's return. I just made it back myself.
Add you as a sound redeem. What's a Corgo? It's a corgi. It's like a cute name for a corgi dog. And there's a minion that was just given to me by Flashfox. I mean, hey, if someone wants to clip it and send it over to me, like at just the soundbite, I will do it right now. Just like if someone does it, just DM me on Discord.
Why do you retain this vessel now that your true form is known? You'd have flown across the island in a fraction of time.
Be that as it may, the sight of a massive creature descending from the sky can be startling to say the least. And there are few places I can enter comfortably without the risk of flattening some cart or stall.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Estini and I were the same, chat. We're the same.
As for my inquiries, the people of Palakistan were unanimous in their reply. They are surviving. Resources were stretched to the limit when refugees were pouring in, but they persevered with some assistance from Yellowmont. From what I understand, they have always been an independent community, hunters and foragers and the like. I was assured that the jungle provinces their needs, for the most part.
Someone gotta isolate the Ara Ara first. Yep, someone. Yeah, I can't do it while I'm live. So if someone wants to do it themselves, then you can do it. It's right. Actually, you know what would be even easier for y'all? By. Oh, so I don't mean to interrupt. I just. Boop! The clip's right in the chat now, so you can pull it up right through there.
Palakistan was weathered the disaster better than most, it seems. I myself heard good news and bad. The quarrymen were cautiously optimistic, having just sold a full wagon of giant skull to a foreign trader. Such visitors are few and far between. Compared to our best years, the weight of stone leaving Thavnir has been light indeed. Our nation is small and isolated, its prosperity dependent on a steady stream of exports. We must identify any obstacles to the flow of trades when we begin working to remove them. Tell me, what did you learn in Akiali and Yildirimand? I see. Not a dedicated buyer, the average fisherman must struggle to offload his daily catch. Which is why I believe you should first address the lack of ships and storage of able-bodied sailors in Yellowmont. I'm reminded of a child I spied as I made my way back to the palace. His father lost at sea when the beast sunk their vessel. So many variations of the same tragic tale repeated over and over. So many lives lost.
Baby. You can deny it no longer. You are small. Honey, at least your cat girl is bigger than a Lalafell, you know?
Enough grief to drown in if we let ourselves be overcome. We will not. Kalel Estinian, I will consider the perspectives you brought me and devise a plan to help my people confront this adversity. Come. I would like you to be in attendance when I announce the proposal to my assembled functionaries.
Oh, what's up, big boy? Wasn't that everything's bigger than a Lalafell? I mean,
I thank you.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the Lopperids even got it on them with the ears.
The riches the Radiant Host have retrieved were hoarded in Al-Zadar's name. A fortune I set aside for a future day of need.
Is the voice volume okay in the game, y'all? I just want to make sure that I'm not, like, super louder than the background.
And lo, that day hath come. May it aid our wounded city in reclaiming its vibrancy and vigor. In better times, I would leave such a task to our capable Ahawan. God's rest his soul.
All right, turn it up a bit. Gotcha. All right, I just turned it up. Hopefully it's a little bit better. Let me know.
Finding myself bereft of his counsel in the here and now, I will assume the responsibilities of mine office directly. Firstly, the treasure shall be sold for more convenient currency. Thence, invested into the trading port of Yedemar. Our merchants must have their operations restored, their ships rebuilt. Commerce must flow once more. None were spared the tragedy of the final days. Of this I am well aware. But an absence was created by the loss of Karazar's consortium. And by filling it, we provide new means for our fishermen, our artisans, and others to bring their wares to distant markets.
Does it feel like that I don't need to be here to anyone else? Like, oh, Drake, thank you for the resub. And here, Drake. How you doing today? Game volume a little bit more? Okay. Hopefully that's good. If not, I'll turn up in-game itself. Just out of the shower. Ooh la la. But yeah, I feel like I'm not really doing much here. They're talking about matters of state and organizing money, and I'm here like,
Yo, Vritra, do I need to kill anything? Because if not, I'm just about useless.
yo, bro's face though.
And what of the children who were left without family to care for them?
That is a concern which weigheth heavily upon my mind. The simple gift of coin will soon be exhausted, leaving these young souls adrift on the fringes of our society. Nay, a proper solution is needed, one which doth guarantee their welfare for years to come.
Create a bunch of simulacra, and they're now their parents, and they grow up and they have robot parents, and it's like Pokemon, where it gets to the end of the game, you have to battle a corrupted version of your parents' simulacra, and they ascend. Welcome to taxes. And Ruby, thank you for resubbing. How you doing today, Ruby? The cowboy ain't useless. I know some people pay for some alone time with the hero. And Graha as well. I know there's a lot of people who would pay to have pictures of that drawn. Levy them on trade profits in exchange for your investment?
Yo, bro, I ain't smart. I don't know what this is supposed to be.
It takes a village. Shin, how you doing today? Any snipers in chat for Shin?
Of course. We must all look out for one another. Let us put this idea into practice. A contract shall be written, requiring all who receive of our Zadar's treasure to commit a portion of their future earnings towards the running of an orphanage.
Be a very well-funded orphanage. We see the world, now we gotta get down to brass tacks. We gotta actually, so the other parts of saving the world. No, my job is adventurer. All I wanted to do was plunder a tomb, and now I'm getting sucked into matters of state. This is ridiculous. Where the merch Taleo? My wallet is waiting. I think I should focus on growing an audience before I do merch. I mean, hell, if I can't get my factor sponsor, then who's gonna be buying the merch?
Such an influential policy.
All the Taleo policy. I came up with the whole thing. I deserve a Nobel Prize. Something with causal seems appropriate.
A fitting candidate.
You know that intelligence is the main stat for Rev Mage? Jim, I ain't smart enough to read or understand. Now that you're doing 6.1, you can do the Totaro thing as well.
Kalzar should be remembered, not as the blasphemy which terrorized Daphne, but as a hard-working and generous man who brought much wealth to our shores. Do any among you object to this proposition? Many here lost loved ones to the beasts.
In that time of strife, any one of us could have broken. Any one of us may have been taken by despair. When I think of Kalzal, I feel no hatred. Only a stinging regret that we could not save him as well.
You know, bro's face is like 90% eyebrow bone. Damn. Bro's got a 6 head.
Isn't that right, men?
This bodes well for that boy. Mirad, was it? Perhaps he can cut ties with that shady peddler.
Hey, that'd be nice. Can I get the next job, Accountant of Light? Accountant. It's just a calculator. That's all it is. You're just clicking like 1 + 1 = 2. Ro! Fight the power! How you doing tonight? That's just how Aura be. Hey, he never skips brow day. What, you just doing this over and over again? That's how the Rock exercises. He does the people's eyebrow, which I can't do.
Then let it be done. Henceforth, this initiative shall be known as the Kalzal Foundation.
Hey, that's cute. Done Stormblood Alliance raids? I have, and I didn't understand the math. I got through them by being carried. Hell yeah. Crystal, hello. Been a while. What's up? What is up indeed? We are on 6.1 patch content and feeling pretty great. How you doing today, Crystal?
Nabdeen, thou art to assemble a patrol and ensure that no child in this city liveth in squalor. Clerks, see to the management of our funds and make haste. Our citizens must not suffer a day more than is necessary.
Dragon and man, side by side in pursuit of a brighter morrow. Reminded of Ishgard.
I miss Ishgard so much. Like, that's the one bad thing about the expansions, is that, you know, you lose a lot of the old characters. I miss Ermic, my boy. Got reclears in a few hours with the Savage Static. Ooh, ooh. How's that been going? You got your good gear yet? Or are you still rolling for stuff? Kind of like agent of the Theris Grand Revenue Company. Tataru is the leader of the guild. The council's out here blowing themselves up with like blue mage spells? What do you mean? Do your role quest, magic DPS role quest is in Ishgard? Is Ishgard? Like the role quest in this expansion? I probably should. Best in slot and tank? Hell yeah. Are that MP3 file for you in Discord? Give me 1 second, chat. I've forgotten immediately how to do this. Chat.
I'm stalling.
I can't remember how to add new ones. Oh no. There we go. There we go. Okay, alerts. Add a new button. And for the next, let's say, 5 minutes, it's 50 bits. Play it as much as you like. It's now live. Refresh your page. Let's go. Oh, why are you all dead? Why are you blue maging? What are you laughing at, honey? Back Coaster, hello! How you doing? What have I done? I've done something amazing, Roro. Thank you for coming forth Kazal's name. Those whose lives he enriched will take comfort in seeing his legacy honored. Forgive me for not speaking sooner. I bear a message from Archon Yustola. He asks that you meet her at the High Crucible at your earliest convenience. Understood. Thank you. Stola must have finished her study of the Void Gate. Shall we hear what she has to say then? I will go with you. Hi, Osha! I hope the soundtrack will be too busy setting up the foundation. My clerks have been the well-oiled cogs of this administration since before Ahewan assumed office. Understand what needs to be done. I'm curious to learn what conclusions your Archon has reached concerning the gate's unique construction.
As you wish. Allow me to lead the way, Your Excellency.
Osha, how you doing? You keep healing yourself, Lai. F in chat for Fane. You have a terrible idea? Oh, Roro. Oh, Roro, what's your terrible idea? Never thought that my dream would go this far. I want 1% of the proceeds. Oh. And then another one that Shin redeemed, and I completely missed it. I'm sorry. There you go. Degens. New game plus Mad Lib replacing certain verbs and cutscenes with ara ara. Oh no. Oh, got a little ghosty. It's a little Napstablook. Man, this soundtrack here is pretty good. Neo, how you doing? And Red Kai? You degen. You degen. And Satch, thank you for the stretch. Oh, wow. I wish you could have heard how much my bones just cracked there. What have you missed? You missed a little bit of questing and a lot of us poking fun at Fane. How you doing today, Roxy? Show off the pup? Heck yeah. Belle, come here. Come here, Belle. Come here, Belle. He's got a new job? Hell yeah, Neo. What are you doing? Come here, Belle. No, I don't want to be picked up, Dad. Just pet me on the ground. Here she is. Here's the dog. My character's stuck auto running. Here's the puppy. Oh, thank you for the kisses. Mwah. Oh. Gonna be working for a couple months as a government scientist. That's awesome, Neo. That's gonna look amazing on a resume as well. And they may even, I know, like temp workers sometimes get hired on as full time too. Funny you didn't see yourself by saying ara ara. I think Fane's getting boozled right now. Realize I have a rainbow toolbox? You do, Ari, you do. It's the beautiful 6-month badge. Driving home, not looking at chat, just listening to the stream. Had to pull over and look at chat because I wanted to find out what the RRs were about. Kahime, how you doing today? And by the way, everyone, we need to at Pantsless Dragon to thank them because they gave us the mod RR. So without Pantsless, we'd have to wait till a whole nother stream to hear it.
Era.
Right, here we all are.
It was text to speech. Holy shit, I was like, what on earth was that sound? Oh, Pantsless, the ruler of horny jail. Oh.
You discovered something new.
I took a closer look at that device. I was able to determine how it keeps the void gate sealed, but not how it might instead be employed to expand the opening. For that, I would need to reference the technique developed by Vritra's alchemists, no records of which appear to have survived the intervening years.
We know this, so why have you sent for us? Have you learned aught of value or not?
Patience, good sir. One must introduce the subject before launching into specifics. From what we understand, travel between worlds is accomplished by passing through the nebulous rift which exists between them. Picture, if you will, the moment you were called to the first. You touched a focus of some kind to help the exarch pinpoint your location. His summoning spell then channeled the energies of the crystal tower to begin your journey to his world.
What? What was that supposed to be? What was that supposed to be? Fat Cat, what were you trying to type? What were you trying to type? You. Oh my gosh.
The magics tore a hole in the wall separating source and shard, and cast you into the intervening nothingness. In that place, the laws of nature hold no sway. Yet even through this realm of temporal and spatial instability, you were borne safely to your destination in the first. The feet that guided you across such an unimaginable distance, both physical and metaphorical, was nothing short of a miracle.
How very glib.
Then what of the many voidsent found in the source? Who guides them here, and how?
Such devastation!
An excellent question. Though there are several methods by which the Void's denizens might intrude upon our world, the rituals of summoning are the most typical. For example, let us consider the Gargoyle, a creature of middling power.
Lore time.
To call upon such an entity, the prospective summoner must force open a void gate. The portal lasts but a moment and is relatively small, allowing only an imp or other lesser being to squeeze through with their physical body intact.
Wait, is this Howcame Manor's music? Really? You're right.
Our more powerful gargoyle, however, is too large for that. Creating a gate big enough for him would require vast amounts of energy, far beyond the reserves of any one mortal practitioner.
Let me in.
Instead, it is far more common to bring over only the entity's soul. We had a taste of that ourselves when a certain exarch dragged us to the first.
Well. Oh, it's Tamtera. Okay. Hi, kitty. How you doing?
And just as our bodies remained in our world, the Voidsent's physical form is left behind in the 13th. Once at its destination, the summoned soul is granted a temporary shell to inhabit. In the gargoyle's case, a stone effigy has proven a suitable vessel.
Whoa, it's the hit TV show Gargoyles.
That'll work while I make Swedish meatballs. Oh, can you like put some on a fork and put it into your disk drive so I can get it?
You said that Voidsent must be called here deliberately by someone in the source, reeled in like a fisherman with his catch.
Exactly. For a being to navigate the chaos of the rift, with or without form, there must needs be a guiding agent on the other side.
When the hordes poured forth from Alag's Great Gate, it was the technologists who drew them through. Though to my knowledge, planar fissures are in essence natural passages between our world and the void, which require no such guidance to traverse.
Y'all are eating good? Tonight, Amanda and I made spicy roast potatoes and black bean burgers. And they were very good.
Why is only the boundary between the source and the 13th so fragile? So much so that it often tears open of its own accord.
I believe solving that mystery is key to understanding travel between the source and its reflections.
And how do you intend to get your answers?
No, the danger is too great.
Perhaps. But what some call danger, others think of as adventure.
Adventure! Adventure awaits. Wasn't Kryle waiting for me back in Charlian?
Were you not listening to my tale? Never mind that the means to expand the gate has been lost to the ages. Even could you force the portal wide enough, you would be greeted by an army of murderous horrors the very instant you step through.
Sounds like a fun Thursday to me.
I assure you I was most attentive. And I agree that to go alone would be certain death.
Oh, she and Raha are the Alliance raids. Oh, whoa.
But if I were to bring along one who has already braved the 13th and humbled the cloud of darkness, well, I imagine my chances would be much improved.
Oh, whoa, that me? Count me in. Dolphin! How you doing today, dude?
I had a feeling you might say that. Once again, I put my life in your ever-reliable hands.
Oh, and Decibels, I didn't see you there. How you doing today? The Lala who waited. Man, Tataru and Kryle get the short end of the stick. You know, I was sassing her and she said reliable hands.
Back to the Void Gate. There is the small matter of being unable to open it without the Satrap's personal authority.
Don't get on your Stolla's bad side.
Before, I will grant you and yours any boon you choose to name, provided it does not endanger my people.
Want to do the Alliance raid today and lost after you get back to Kryle? I don't know. How long does it take? I mean, we only have a couple hours left to stream. Put him on the spot. Yeah, exactly.
You have my word that we will take every precaution. Not a single Voidsent will be allowed to threaten Radzatan, assuming we manage to expand the portal in the first place.
You have a plan.
Actually, I had hoped you might help us with that. I presume the alchemists you retained supplied you with some explanation of their methodology.
That they did. House Daemir was overseeing the project.
Daemir. Ah, yes. The family associated with the great work.
I did not fully comprehend the theory, but their research began with a Voidsent which had slipped through the fissure. After a thorough examination, they created an arcane simulacrum possessed of
Man-made
similar qualities.
Voidsent.
A man-made void center, if you will. It was apparently indispensable
Interesting.
in their efforts to enlarge the gate.
You know, my terrible brain is like,
Oh my gosh, it's just like the artificial Heartless in Kingdom Hearts.
are you still wearing the 2B wings? I am, Pip. I will never not be.
A man-made voice.
Yes. Being great admirers of the Archons, House Daymir submitted detailed notes to Charlene's official committee. They expected praise and accolades for their simulacrum, and were thus devastated to be informed that their work had been classified as prohibited material.
Hunter, how you doing? Have you still called her familiars yet? Not to my knowledge.
If that's true, then those notes might still be stored in a forbidden archive somewhere. Not Google, of course, since that library had yet to be built. Which leaves us with...
Froth's favorite place to sneak around.
He's stealthy like a cat.
Like a cat knocking over a glass of water and running through the house.
Indeed. Numenon's restricted stacks may very well hold a copy. In which case, I say we head directly to Charlene.
Bye, Estinian.
Unless you anticipate needing help to reach the high shelf. I see myself being of little use. Go on ahead. I still need to find Mirad and tell him about the Kalzal Foundation.
The funny thing is, Estinian, Graha does. He had to use a levitation spell to get to the high shelves. He's too short. He's too short. He's the same if you've not been in anyone's bed for 15 years. Hamana, hamana, hamana.
Let us be on our way as well.
Sass is a great way to lay off stress, Arizim.
Whoa, who is that?
They are resolved to venture into the void. Do I sit idly by?
What are you gonna do? Stop us? We're the fucking scions. We'll find some way to do it. Barras with 100 biddies. Thank you. Did you want to play a sound bite with that 100 biddies? Regardless, thank you so much. I realized that I haven't even participated, chat. I haven't even participated. There we go. Now I feel better. You've been trying to figure out how to do that? Faraz, if you scroll down, here, I shall just show you. The sound alerts are right down here. And our Alahi text-to-speech, all these right here.
Hey, and chat, if you click this link, you get brought to my sponsor, and you can see with my code, it automatically, my account is
I guess I need to log out real quick. Now I can click it. And you see with my code, you can get any size plan that you want. Your first box is 60% off. So you're getting, well, $5 a meal, $40 for 8 meals. You can choose keto, calorie smart, veggie, protein plus. And you basically, once you go through, you get to choose what meals you want as well. They all come to you pre-cooked, so you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to, get takeout every night. You don't have to Uber Eats. You can just, see about saving some money with your old Papa Taleo. On your phone is the purple face with the headphones. I didn't know that, Arielu. Thank you. Shameless plugin? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, considering we can barely afford heating right now, I'll shamelessly plug as much as I need to.
We're to enter the Numenor restricted archives with a minimum fuss, and we must secure the permission of the Forum. First, however, we shall need to enlist the cooperation of a member to broach the matter on our behalf. Who might be inclined to assist us?
Well, our good old uncle. What do you mean no one springs to mind? Yeah, Montechang, come on!
We'll just call him Montechang. He did come to Graha's defense during the inquiry, after all. 'Tis settled. Let us head to the phenomenon and see if he's willing to help us once more.
Thank you for the Ara and Patreon. Thank you as well, Fane. Oh, and Roxy also tried to plug the Patreon. Uber Eats is insanely expensive. I know, right?
Where am I going? Is that the only spot? It looks like.
Do it again. Hey, you got it.
I appreciate to Master Matoya at the age of 7. I labored under her tutelage for the full decade. Never had the chance to attend the studium. Neither did Thancred, as I recall. Soon after Master Louisoix took him off the streets, he was put in care of another Archon. His was a rigorous and practical education in the arts of espionage and survival. I just wonder what my life might have been like if I had pursued studies here instead.
Tea at the last after a day of lectures. It's Danny! Hello, how you doing today, Danny? How's your day been? Funny, you're sorry you didn't expect this. I mean, I did make it 50 bits. You know what? Actually, good point. Good point. I should bump it up so Fonny doesn't, you know, constantly get poked fun of. Let me do that real quick. All right. You know what? For you, Fonny, it's at 150 now. That way people can't spam it.
That does sound lovely. Afternoons with friends spent sipping tea and debating theories. Still, I wouldn't give up time with Master Matoya for the world. That dank cave I studied in was but far from the bright and airy halls of academia one could get. It was wondrous, magical childhood nonetheless.
There you go, Faye, you degen. It's just jarring. I'm suddenly hear your voice out of nowhere. Pretty good. I'm happy to see you streaming. I'm happy to be here. What are we doing today? We are finishing up 6.1 right now, and then I think maybe starting on the Alliance Raid quest line. But how you been, Danny? Hey, what's up, Montechang, Uncle Monty? Oh, what was his voice? Oh, I can't remember, chat.
Ah, visitors, quite esteemed ones at that. What may I do for you? Pray forgive the intrusion, Skolak. We're hoping you might help us find secure... We're hoping you might help us secure permission to enter the Numenor's restricted archives. Oh, no furtive forays into the stacks this time, eh? I applaud this newfound sense of propriety. Yet in all this wild world of comparative serenity, what so compels you to disturb a vault of forbidden wisdom?
Challenge accepted.
Upbeat and gravelly, you say? Sort of like this, then.
Work on getting some jobs level 50. Always enjoyed watching as I play. Well, I'm glad you're here, Danny. What job are you leveling right now? Will not stop the chat. I don't know. I don't see anything coming from you, Noir.
Upbeat and gravelly.
Fascinating. I know no idea such a technique existed.
I'd be surprised if you had. If my assumption is correct, and the research left behind by House Daemir, has lain dormant in Charlene's archives for many centuries.
You did. I'm sorry. My alerts have some trouble keeping up because they've been played so much. The alerts are coming in now. Really bought at 46? Hell yeah.
And if you know this research, what then? Surely you don't intend to cross over into the void.
That is, in fact, precisely what we intend.
What and, pray tell?
Develop a method of traversing the rift, for one, might keep my word to a distant friend.
And lover boy.
Sentiment aside, I have journeyed to the ends of existence and have heard, felt, and thought endlessly.
Hear, feel, think. Really, Stola?
Endlessly with the truth of our world and the echo of its future. But I want to understand everything, rather all down to its very last secret.
Ramos! Thank you for the resub! How you doing today, Ramos? Hello to Lil and hello chat. Hello to yourself. I think that's the next bean. Even if it's not, I will do so anyway. It's very minty. Not too bad. Ooh. Oh. Last threads of Heinlein Vena is chuckling at Stola's cheekiness, right? You should all have succeeded to thank when I can see his child again. I know. Children, don't forget Gaia. We just had our whole set come to the shop as well.
What scholarly worthy's name would force open a void gate to for grand revelation but promised reward?
Ha ha ha! Marvelous! An audacious proposal worthy Master Matoya herself. After hearing the whys and wherefores, I for one do not believe you would use the knowledge for ill. See no reason not to present you a request to the forum's consideration.
Thanks, Uncle Monty.
Although, your petition would be better received, you also have the support of another well-placed acquaintance.
Potional?
Why, Master Fotional, of course. You hardly know an earnest request from his dear children's most treasured comrades.
I was hesitant to approach him directly, but there's no denying that having Master Foshonaut on our side would tip the balance in our favor. Very well. Pay a visit to Levier's estate and plead our cause.
Where's there's a scene where Gaia 1v1's Golbez? That'd be so good. My Siren Ult is level 31, but only MSQ level 20 is picking up Black Mage split XP a bit. Hell yeah. Might buy the hammer on payday. Man, I want to as well.
One last thing before you go. I would consider a personal favor if you might share with me the discoveries you make in the void. My appetite for knowledge is every bit as insatiable as yours, I'd wager. So if you can see your way to indulging old man's curiosity.
Of course, Scarlock. We'll be sure to pass on any revelations.
Gaia returns and she bonks the enemy. I don't know, I'm feeling that maybe we might have a Gaia returning moment, because, you know, they put her outfit on the Mog Station. It means that they're in the thoughts of the devs.
Hello.
Oh, yo, little dude struck a pose. Hell yeah. Please look over the class when you get out, Talail. Oh, wow. Yeah. Holy moly. Hello, Council. I know I didn't notice y'all here. Oh, well, I guess that chair isn't for me. I'm a cat. I cannot sit on chairs. There you are, 7, you degen. Everyone was sitting here learning about Carvies. I wish there was more chat boxes. Ah, then. Before we get into the next cutscene, we're going to take a quick Talail self-care minute. So I need everyone to get up, do some stretches, get some snackies and some water, and we'll be back in 2 to 3 minutes. Let's put on some music while we go. What do we want? What do we want today? I know what we want. All right, chat. If you're still here, make sure to spam some emotes. We'll be right back.
Can you see the sun is shining on me? It makes me feel so free, so alive. It makes me want to survive. And the sky, it makes me feel so high. The bad times pass me by. 'Cause today, it's gonna be a brighter day. Can you feel the sunshine? Does it brighten up the day? Don't you feel that sometimes you just need to run away? Reach out for the sunshine, forget about the rain. Just think about the good times, and they will come back again. Without you, there's nothing for me to do. Can you feel the sunshine too? It's coming through. It makes me feel brand new. When you're here, I wish you were always near. 'Cause everything's so clear. And today, it's gonna be a brighter day. Can you feel the sunshine? Does it brighten up the day? Don't you feel that sometimes you just need to run away? Reach out for the sunshine, forget about the rain. Just think about the good times, and they will come back again. When the sun goes down, I feel like I am waiting for another day when the clouds go away. Can you feel it? Ooh. Can you feel it? Oh. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel the sunshine? Does it brighten up the day? Don't you feel that sometimes you just need to run away? Reach out for the sunshine, forget about the rain. Just think about the good times, and they will come back again.
God, I love that song. Did anyone get any snackies? If so, what'd you get? I want to live vicariously through y'all. By Siren, if you want to... Oh, yes, yes. Where are you? Can I invite you to a party just through here? I think you need to be near me, Ari, in order to sign it. Because I'm right-clicking your name and it doesn't have the free company petition. Maybe I do you in the party? Chips, salsa, and beer? Just gum? Oh, invite to new company. Hey! Yeah, if anyone wants to sign the free company petition with your Siren characters, just DM me. Pumpkin, pecan, biscuit, and whiskey? Sheesh. 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 Woo. Trade 2 more, right? Maybe eventually I'll get a chat big enough to sign 2 more. You can sign the free company form, but still restrict our Rumble Wires. Oh, yeah, you're totally fine. Floating the void between servers, oh no. I try snacking on this giant scythe I carry around. Ruffles and ranch dip, ooh la la. You got Hello Pandas? Is that like the Japanese snack that's like the little panda cookies with filling? Salt and vinegar chick, cinnamon roll. I want cinnamon roll. Darth Shade, how you doing? Some Cheetos jalapeno mac and cheese. I forget, Roxy, you're Canadian, right? Is happening to Live Free Company? It is. I think I'm just short of being able to join Free Company with my Siren alt. I don't know when you get to. Wait till I get my Riven to buy skips. I mean, yeah, if you don't have to buy a skip though. I mean, you can be in the Free Company for as long as you want. Crispy Japanese cookie with chocolate. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about then. The giant puts another scythe I've seen to shame. So you're flexing how big your scythe is. You know, it's not always about size. I am, but this is an official product to choose. I know, y'all Canadians are so obsessed with friggin' Kraft mac and cheese. I mean, if you just DM me, Pip, I can invite you to a party to sign. Ah, Master Talay and Mistress Y'shtola, how may I be of service? I'm to speak to Master Fortunault. Is he home by any chance? Yes, the Master is in residence. I shall inform him he has guests. Oh, okay. I thought it was like Cheetos that was like collabing with Kraft. I didn't know Cheetos had its own brand. Your store used to have Kraft mac and cheese flavored ice cream. Grim, are you sure that you're from the real world and not some like terrifying Candyland? Well. Avalanche would invite you inside for tea, but I assume this is not a social visit. You have some matter of import to discuss. Then pray proceed. You have my full attention. Well, I suppose I should praise you for following the proper protocols this time around. Scholar Monty Chang expressed much the same sentiment. I assure you will not attempt to circumvent the forum's authority again, unless it is absolutely necessary, of course. Of course. You do understand that the restricted archives are restricted for a good reason, yes? If no pressing need exists, then why risk the consequences of employing this forbidden knowledge? 'Cause I wanna? For a brother who misses his sister, who is his guardian and his friend, a selfless hero who crossed the rift between worlds to save her homeland from horror and suffering. Stola is acting like this is all for the good of a friggin' Vritra, when we know she just want to see her boy Runar. Like, come on. Bitter, hello! Kicks open door, not missing stream this time. Well, hour and a half in, but welcome on in, Bitter. How you doing? By the way, any snipers in chat for Bitter? Kraft has ruined their mac and cheese ever since the food babe pressured them to do it. What? There was a yoga mat ingredient in their mac, but it was harmless. What? I never even heard of that, Roxy. That's wild. I mean, whenever I do mac and cheese, I either do Cabot mac and cheese or Annie's. They're pretty excellent. Yeah, exactly, honey. Annie's. But the brother has given up thoughts of reunion. He spends his efforts elsewhere, watching over a people yet healing from the flames of the final days. Loyal to his duty while betraying the longing in his heart. 'Tis no vital mission, perhaps, reuniting these siblings, but he feels a worthy cause to pursue all the same. As one who feared losing his own loved ones and spent years in research to prevent it, surely you appreciate how painful such a separation must be. Damn. She like brought him close, stabbed him in the gut, and was like, do it. Close, how you doing? Velveeta Mac? I never been a Velveeta boy. Just came back from grocery shopping, got what? Got sniped and lies down on the floor. Reflections are still very much a mystery to us.
Offering to share your experiences in the fur should constitute a fair exchange for our cooperation. I love her little squinty smile. It's so cute. Where are we at in the MSQ? Lugio, we are about to finish 6.1. Do not celebrate just yet. The forum must still be convinced. I will add your request to the list of today's deliberations and deliver the decision to you at the Baldessian Annex. No, Ramos, I do not have an adventurer plate. Cue everyone losing their collective minds. That's every time I run towards this fountain, think it's the Aetherite. I had this lobster mac and cheese I found near your grocery store seafood counter. It was so good. Either your sentence would end with "it's so good" or I got horrible food poisoning. You have been invited, honey. You are the third signature. If I ever get this to let me into Siren, I'll show you my Tinkaton Pokemon I have. Oh, ho, ho, ho. The video is great for adding a little to other cheeses for mac and cheese because it has ingredients to make it really emulsify. That's a good point. Like Crackle Barrel mac. I have not really been to a Crackle Barrel before. Playle's banned from doing stuff with chat until he creates a portrait. What does that mean? Now I need to go back to the free company people. So, what did the forum decide?
Put it bluntly, Master Matoya has burned some bridges here in Charlian, and salted the earth for good measure. When it became clear that his student was the petitioner in question, well, no few members voiced their discontent. Then the chamber was reminded, in no uncertain terms I might add, of the incredible debt we owe to you and your companions. That served to silence the grumbles and stiffen a few spines, and it was agreed that allowing you entry to the archives was the least we could do in return.
That is wonderful news. Thank you both for speaking on our behalf.
6 minutes and waiting for me to transfer over. 07. Trying to be polite and not interrupt your cutscene, and now I'm stuck in WOD. You're stuck in Warlords of Draenor. Oh God, Pip, no!
Yes, as well. As I'm sure you're aware, the permission was not extended lightly. Forbidden knowledge is to be treated with the utmost caution, and there'll be repercussions if it is not. I wish you well in your endeavor and bid you good day.
Bye! You gotta add cream cheese and milk and more cheese and of course seasoning and more cheese. You forgot the second round of more cheese. Come on, Danny. Come on. World of Darkness, you goof? I don't know what you're talking about.
Ever the same, that one.
Compromising? Aye, but very stoicism exactly what Charlian needed to guide it through not one, but 2 exoduses. Rather well, I think. As a child, I dreamed up any other schemes to get my hands on those forbidden tomes. Now can the walk through the door. Our focus should be on finding House Demir's research notes, of course. With the thought of so much knowledge at my disposal has me feeling a little giddy.
Was that the end of 6.1 or is it still more 6.1? Oh my God, you're so right. Exactly. All mac and cheese should contain at least 4 different types of cheese. Darth Shade is spitting facts. Fresh-faced student? A mission in Mordoa? I'm assuming this is the Alliance raid? You almost okay, gotcha. 200% goof.
Come on, Pip. I'm not a goof.
We're heading directly to the archives from here, I presume.
You presume correctly?
I want to speak with the index page when you arrive. Been instructed to grant you access to the restricted section.
Excellent. Once again, we thank you for all your help.
Oh, it's my pleasure, believe me. May you find the knowledge you seek.
Does Fulchenault make mac and cheese because he's for cheese? Right, timeout Fat Cat for 1 year. You get achievements we end patches? Gotcha, thank you. Banish to the void. Shall we?
Stopla's following me again.
There needs to be more than just one talking point. This is blasphemy. Almost Thanos snapped you. I wonder if that peaked the mic. I have no idea how good the mic settings are right now. I'm gonna have to like go through the VOD and see if there's anything that I should be doing differently. Putting away? Don't worry, putting away. You get a hug. Lots of requests this stream are different ones. We got about an hour and 20 left, so it might be not the best to try to start an alliance raid. To think the set of instructions I allowed to imagine they may exist, but yawns away from where you found me napping. If I had known Asdal's Third's exploits sooner, I could well have saved myself days of research. Even a children's book might have pointed me in the right direction. To achieve the impossible, one must needs be flexible of mind and look beyond conventional wisdom. A lesson I had already learned, but clearly not taken to heart. I can't wait to watch your reactions to that one. Chat, what I think we might do is this Saturday, we will probably do the Alliance raid. I feel like it's not the most fun to stop mid-Alliance raid, and that way it's on a weekend, so a lot more people have the opportunity to play together. So I think we might continue with just doing the MSQ for the next couple of streams until we hit Saturday, and then we'll do a big day of the Alliance raid. That way a lot of people get to do it all at the same time. We'll personally go through the MSQ until caught up and maybe do the side stuff after. I want to break it up a bit. Oh yeah, I won't forget the normal raid and the extremes. Don't worry, don't worry. Wonder if we can get 24 chat members to join the raid? Maybe? It really does depend. I mean, we have 78 right now, and that all depends on if, you know, how many of those people actually want to play. There's 2 wings unlocked for the Alliance raid. Okay, and the next patch will have the 3rd one. Let me see if I said this right. Gonzalza? Bro, where'd you get your bear ears? I got these from Etsy. Let me see if I can pull up the shop. Sorry, for some reason my purchase history is not working right now. Oh. There we go. It is a Etsy shop called Colorful Ears, and there's a link to it right there in chat. So if you'll want to see how to get ears like this, you can go check them out. Next match will be the 3rd ring of Pandemonium. Oh, gotcha. You joined for sure? Heck yeah, Faye. And by the way, Don, how are you doing today? Welcome to chat. How'd you find me? 8 months off. You'll join either when you start them? Oh, definitely we'll be doing... usually, like, the big stuff I do on weekends, just so there's time to go through all of it. Cutting it apart in sections is kind of... You know, it's a little bit more difficult. You look cute as fuck. You look cute as fuck. Thank you. I appreciate it. Always down for murder? Hell yeah. Archon Ishtolda, and yes, I did it. Fine. Do you wish to proceed into the restricted archives? Follow me if you would. Watch your step, and please note that the use of naked flames is discouraged. Thank you for the stretch, Nest. How you doing today, buddy? Oh, and Riley as well. Hello. Oh, whoa, what's this? More books. Those are like the most inefficient but cool looking book towers ever.
If House Damia's notes are to be found anywhere, it will be here. Let us begin.
You're not sick anymore, so that's good, but I have to leave already. Oh, well, thank you for coming by, Nest. Lots of love, dude. Hopefully your shift goes well. Chat, we're going to do my patented VIP quote question. Look around and tell me what you see. Miles and miles of books. If anyone can tell me what movie that's from, you will get VIP. That's a deep cut. Of the jazzy version of Google Library, it's so awesome. Today, in a world not my own, I met the most beautiful void-born creature. She was so unlike her ravenous brethren, eyes blazing not with hunger, but trembling like a candle's flame, threatening to flicker out at any moment. I wonder if she is even the proper word. Such distinctions seem inconsequential, insignificant even. Narnia? Nah. All that matters is the love I feel for this exquisite, transcendent being. Your attempt to read more, this one does seem to be the volume you were seeking. But, I want to know. Does it say Beauty and the Beast? No, I'm sorry. There probably is no way that y'all will be able to get this. Let me see if I can find a clip of it. Oh, I can't. It's from a Barney movie, as in Barney the Purple Dinosaur movie that I was obsessed with when I was a kid. Page Master, ooh, that would have been good. I feel like I've heard it before. It's just not clicking. Yeah, it's from a Barney movie, not the show. Like a VHS movie I watched when I was a kid. You've seen the movie? You have? With the rainbow egg? Yes. Oh, Lord. This was Page Master. I need to watch Page Master again. Actually, I should write that down for one of our community nights. With the rainbow egg, yes. Fane, you and me, we're connected. Think it to Lil, I just got Barney. As I Googled it up when you said it. You can't Google. You can't cheat the system and look it up. You forgot Barney existed and I'll forget again. It only ever comes up to me with that quote. And I don't know why it lives in my head rent-free. In the year 1564, the Sixth Astral Area, the Almaj summoned Ifrit, their patron god. Accounts describe the being as a gigantic, lizard-like being with potent command of fire-aspected magics. If we consider the primal summoning as an act fueled by faith and prayer, it is unsurprising, if not expected, that the resolved deformed entity should manifest the appearance of powers with which it is attributed by its worshippers. What then might emerge from the aether should one who believes in an almighty omniscience attempt the same ritual? Will the scholar himself grace us with his presence? Some other embodiment of divine sagacity?
Could this man-made god truly be all-knowing? And if it were, whence would this knowledge arise? I myself have many questions concerning the nature of the ancient world. With no spell to transport me back to the days of old, could I instead summon a being possessed of encyclopedic wisdom of every age? Yet with no means to verify its pronouncements, how can one be certain they were true? Though your mind spins with the possibilities described therein, this does not seem to be the volume you're seeking. I mean, it's pretty cool, not gonna lie. Morning check time. Good afternoon, folks. Good evening for me. It's 8:19. How you doing, Chris? Welcome on in. There's some VHS movies I remember that were, I think, based off the Skydancer toys. Whoa. Remember the theme song for it, but I can't find it anywhere, so I wonder if I imagined it. It was one of those Berenstain Bears moments. Every time you do a guess the quote thing, I'm reminded just how different the cultural touchstones for Australians and Americans are. Fair enough, Pip. Yeah, I imagine there isn't a lot of crossover. 1820 here, exactly. Military time, that's 6:20. Hey, ooh. Who else had the orange VHS of Rugrats in Paris? Come on, come on. Who else had that? The following pages detail an advanced method for manipulating rift-spanning apertures as devised by Nuhashan, the ninth patriarchal of House Daemir. Jesus. We preset these research notes to the faculty of the Charlene Studium as both a token of our friendship and expression of our boundless admiration. You appear to have located the volume. Yay! You still have that Rugrats cassette? Oh my gosh. I don't know what happened to all of our cassettes, because we had a whole bunch of them growing up, but it probably got misplaced in a move or thrown out at some point. Your Opa had it? Is Opa like grandpa? Real ones have the weird Rugrats board game video game? I don't know that one. I guess I'm not a real one, honey. Looney, hello! The scary part of the library, the restricted section. How you doing, Delooney? Probably buried in your mother's basement somewhere. Man, we moved so many times and had to downsize a lot, so I don't even know where a lot of this stuff is that we used to have as kids. Crapped on the Power Rangers, Digimon, and Pokemon ones. Maybe sign me up. Sign me up. All the Nickelodeon movies used to have an orange VHS. Yes. Yeah, the Jimmy Neutron movie as well. Have something you'd like to show me, do you? My apologies, I flipped open about a single book and was completely absorbed by the contents. Good thing I don't know how to read. Are you afraid of the dark point-and-click game? I never heard of that, Red. Yo, that's really cool. Like, oh my gosh, I'm like having a brain blast moment remembering all the old like educational video games. Like Putt Putt, Pajama Sam, got like Freddy the Fish, got Reader Rabbit. Oh my gosh. Oh. Well done, Talal. I think you may have found our prize.
Yes, the ether signature is unmistakable. I've felt the traces of House Daemir's resonance many times at the Great Work. Time to see what all the fuss was about.
Yeah, I know those things.
Among the ranks of the Void Sent, there exist entities with the power to call forth their brethren from beyond. The species known as Atomos, however, is uniquely prodigious in this regard.
Got sucked up by one of these things. I was doing maps with the Patreon members, and man, God, there's so much fun. There's so much fun. I never really got the educational games part of the childhood. I got a lot of it because I grew up in for some of my early youth, I grew up in a very Christian household. So I had a lot of like Veggie Tales and educational games. And then as I grew up, it was less restrictive. They weren't like,
They didn't really think Magic the Gathering was the devil and D&D stole your soul. But it was like, if you're going to be doing media, then you should do educational media kind of thing. You ever see the online abridged series for the anime Free? It's called 50% Off and has one of the main characters lose the ability to read. Why don't you DM me that, Chris, over Discord? That sounds interesting.
From its distended maw, it can expel an endless procession of void-born creatures. A talent which sorely tested the Radiant Host in its battles against these abominations. Surmising that the entity itself was acting as a void gate, we endeavored to capture a small specimen and subsequently examine its physiological structure. Our findings reveal that the Atomos had absorbed a planar fissure into its own flesh, which it could expand at will into a functioning gate.
Terrifying.
Upon further analysis, we identified an ethereal wave pattern emitted during this process. A pattern we were able to emulate by passing crystal-stored ether through a specially designed prism. We proceeded to embed said prism into an arcane simulacrum, thus completing what we have dubbed our artificial atomos. How could I have been so blind to the possibilities? This species, not to mention its ability to summon void scent, has been discussed among academics for years now.
VeggieTales had some rad fucking songs, not gonna lie. Yo, when Larry dropped Where's My Hairbrush, the whole crowd went wild. And My Cheeseburger, yo, I heard My Cheeseburger and my the tears are flowing, you know? One thing I love about Final Fantasy is how scientific the magic is. Pantsless, have you read The Name of the Wind? If you haven't, I think their magic system in that book might be right up your alley. VeggieTales was after my time. I was into Animaniacs at the time. Dude, Animaniacs, that's a way different like scope than VeggieTales. Welcome to Silly Songs with Larry, the part of the show where Larry sings a silly song. Remember going to a VeggieTales movie with my cousin forever? Was it the pirates who don't do anything? That they just stay at home and lie around? We're having a VeggieTales night, chat. How's that?
Just before the advent of the 7th Umbral Calamity, we received reports of Atomos sightings from every corner of Eorzea. Surely you've at least heard the tales. And still, House Daemir went and built a mock Atomos of their very own. I'm not surprised the Archons consigned their work to a restricted archive. It was no easy task, but at last we've unearthed the volume we've been searching for.
Oh, Roxy, neither am I. I am very much so not. It's not really the most religious, and when it is, it's kind of ham-fisted. Too Jewish for VeggieTales. Fair enough. Early 90s, baby. I was born in 94, so I didn't really start consuming media till late 90s.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to stay longer. See what other forbidden titles might be lurking on these shelves.
Wow, you're all so young. Man, I love having y'all youngins as my kids. Anario, hello, how you doing?
Ah, but that would be abusing the very special privilege we've been granted now, wouldn't it? Better not.
I love that they give them little haircuts. It's so cute.
As much as I would love to start crafting the Atmos, I'm afraid this is far outside my field of expertise. Fortunately, we know a Harnish alchemist who would be delighted to involve herself in House Daimir project. Our business here is concluded for a moment. Please pass on our regards to the forum. Your message will be conveyed. Should you wish to indulge in more forbidden literature, I will be here. Pardon mode disabled. Security mode engaged. If anyone can help us, Nidana can. They will return to Thavni and look for her the great work.
What's my astrological sign? I was raised saying it was Tauros, but like, didn't it change a few years ago or something like that? I don't know. I never really put much stock in it. I'm a Taurus. My wife's a Pisces. That's a pretty good Babbitt there. Thank you. It never changed? I guess maybe there was like people asking to change it. I remember like a few years ago, by a few years, I mean probably like almost 10. There was like this whole kerfuffle saying like the stars had moved over the course of time. And because of that, people's signs were supposed to change. But I also could have been trolled massively by high school rumors. So. Your story tells me you're pursuing a most fascinating study, that you want me to be a part of it. I no doubt you'd be interested. The research log should speak for itself. Will it now? By the sisters, this is the mark of House Daimir. Never even knew such a work existed. You should. It was sequestered in the Numenon's restricted archives, after all. It was? But that means every word within is forbidden knowledge. A forbidden tome filled with forbidden research. You put it right in my unsuspecting hands? I can hardly wait to read it. God, I love her. Idana is based. KipCop300, hello! Welcome to chat! How you doing today? And the follow. How'd you find me? Any snipes in chat for Kip? She's the best she is.
You think the Daimir were developing such marvelous technology so long ago? How many innovations might have been lost over the centuries, I wonder? Now that I've glanced over the notes, what say you to helping us build a new mock Atmos? Say yes! 1,000 times yes!
Row with the gifted sub! Hype! Welcome on in, Kip, to the family! Come on, my recommended. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Work on our Daimir project has been the redoubtable scholars with shouting and trembling in their sandals. No alchemist in the great work could resist. You're a woman after my own heart. Oh, I suppose I should ask, what do you mean to do with this big mouth simulacrum once we built it?
Tear open a portal to the void and jump through it.
So, there's a secret void gate that's sealed in the ruins at the bottom of the bounty. Today's a day of revelations indeed. If the purpose of our man-made Atomos is to expand this hidden portal, I'll need to see it myself, I think. Manipulating rift-spanning apertures is not the sort of thing you want to attempt without first taking into account every single factor. By all means, accompany us to the vault. I'll plan to lead us back there shortly, once we finish gathering the components I require.
Nidana and Masi are so cute. I really hope they actually get together at some point in the story. Technically, that's due to a time difference between some of our horoscopes are not how we were born. Even better, we don't even acknowledge the 13th zodiac. Ophiuchus? Never heard of it. Is Atomos a summon in a Final Fantasy game? It sounds like it would be. The 13th constellation in the zodiac belt, but it's never been included in the actual zodiac constellations because 12 is a better number. Oh, Pichussy. God damn it, Fat Cat. Everyone, can we reply to Fat Cat's comment with a bonk, please? At least one bonk, preferably like 4 or 5. Final Fantasy 9, you believe? Hell yeah.
Charlie and Mark has provided a few raw aquamarine and pure water crystals. I need help obtaining a small quantity of astrally infused water. For such a liquid, you need to go further than the font of Maya. The aesthetics of the old ones favored the places in their meditations. The water which pools over there now is known to enliven the flow of aether. It sounds perfect. Be so kind as to fill the flask of the pool. I'll petition Vritra to join us. Do you have in mind what amount of mud without his authority to command the Void Gate? Will we be about it then? Back here anon.
Some versions included, but Ptolemy didn't, so modern astrology doesn't. Interesting. Fuck Ptolemy, man. Who are they to tell us what is and what is not Zodiac? Or Zodiark, for that matter. Or we're doing little poppers? Ooh. Pumpkin. Are you really about to make me go to the fucking baby pool? Chris with a gifted sub to Bitter Magic, thank you! I believe we're 3 off of the next beam, so we're almost there, y'all. The PTSD pool. You made it, Svent! My dude! How you doing today? There's no figures in the water, right? Yeah, just gonna jump in the baby pool. It's fine, it's fine. No trauma here, right, chat?
There is only one thing worse than a rapist. Boom. A child. No.
Every time. Technically, baby survived. Oh, yeah, yeah. Baby survived, sure. Boom. A child. That's probably my wife's, what, favorite vine, honey? I don't think you can hear me. Got a custom tattoo? Oh, whoa. You gotta show me that, Tanaka. Enjoying some Costco pizza. Come inside of a cutscene. Oh, 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 oh. Well. You on Discord just gotta figure out how to apply it. Oh, that is so cool. Yo. Did you commission that? Like, where'd you get that from? Patch has been very profitable for me. I made only 3 million. Yeesh, Chris. Oh, by the way, it's been a bit, so I need to do something real quick, if y'all don't mind. Just a quick little pit stop. Nothing too crazy. I'm stalling because my computer's being really slow. Give me it's been a while. So I just need to do that.
Get the flask for me. Yes, it should suffice. Thank you, Talael. Look what came across. The Stinians seem to need a diversion, and we, in turn, may have need for his lance. Right then, now that the parties assemble, let's make our way to the ruins.
We have need of Marcio's boat again.
Oh, there you are, child.
Of this time, once she stole and informed me of our destination, I arranged for a vessel to be ready at the Kaye. Your Excellency's ever gracious host, shall we?
You thought you were free? Never. Never. You missed us floating in the dead pool, by the way? Oh. I was just trying so hard to run past it and notice y'all were in the dead pool. I'm so sorry. Dog, 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 dog. We can run. How to sound redeem? If you scroll down to the panels, there's a sound redeem section. You just click on it and it uses bits. You can play dead in water. I mean, at that point, you just drown. I guess we can't drown. That's right. We can breathe water.
Sloppy.
Sloppy. I am very happy with this new mic, y'all. I am very, very happy. Once I get it set just the way I want it, I'm going to be able to start doing some voice acting, and I'll be so stoked when I can do that. You can't figure out how to work the sound redeems? If you... So the videos here, you scroll down, and then you just click the sound alert. The bit price is on top. You just click it, and then play now.
A test of your reflexes.
There you are. Either that, you're trying to get a free one. In that case, you got it. Got a new mic. Nice. How about the chair yet? Yes, I did, actually. We got the chair a little while ago, Renoa. It's got like full lumbar support, and it's crazy. Oh, Derp here in mod view? That would be why. New chair? I mean, we got it like a couple weeks ago, but I guess you might not have been on stream that time. Yeah, when we did that one stream where people were informed of the broken chair, I got donated $100 by a very, very kind chatter, and that helped fund most of the chair. Imagine if you went to Final Fantasy XIV, met Ilbert, and when he asked what he was famous for in your world, you tell him it was saying sloppy. Pretty much. Doing cool vids, can we just see it stun laugh you because it's funny? Oh, whoa. Well. Well. Maybe if I go to the original video. Wait, what? It didn't evaporate, though. It's ridiculous. Sadly, I'll never be able to do it. I'm not legally allowed to have mods. Oh, we're in a hype train. Oh, we're about to be in a hype train.
These alone were impressive enough, but I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden in the depths of the bounty. It may have been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors. I feared for what might happen should those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
Roro gifting out 5 subs. What you doing, dude? Thank you. Let's see, what bean do we get? Rotten egg or buttered popcorn. Eee. Dude, Faye, you are constantly dodging. How are you managing this? Riley with 200 bits, thank you. I appreciate it. Sunder, the mic? Is the mic not working? Hello, hello? Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Is this better? Oh, I got baited? God damn it. I got one guide. Okay, honey.
A test of your reflexes.
You're right. My reflexes did get tested, and I failed miserably.
I'm stalling.
Fair enough.
What is it you're doing now?
There's something I wish to verify.
How very glib.
How very glib.
The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance.
You know, everyone seems excited for this cutscene, so let me pause sound alerts.
Should one suffer an injury, however, or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater. Graha theorized that a warding scale would confer protection from the void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that hypothesis before we set foot in the 13th ourselves.
Wait, are you gonna summon something and then send it in there as a guinea pig? That's so mean.
This is an experiment of sorts.
Yes, an experiment. Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale?
Say nothing look meaningfully at a Justinian. Hell.
What? Why are you looking at me like that? Surely you'd not expect me to wriggle through that tiny portal.
I love the sass of this
We
part.
needn't attempt anything so drastic. A small familiar should serve well enough.
Himbo has the answers. That goddamn beautiful giraffe.
Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow. Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same.
Didn't she... Wasn't there a summon that she had done that was like a water boss that we fought? It was in like the Porksy Queen dungeon. Sobas gifting out a sub! Thank you!
I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do, I'm afraid.
I mislike the sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born.
Yo, girl. She's a magical girl.
Water, water, froth and foam!
Yes.
Ready your arms. I fear she's been possessed.
Oh, come now. That was adorable.
Possessed. Yep, I was right. It's the boss. It was the boss. God damn, this patch is the most amazing thing ever. 6.1 should have been what the entire game is. Everyone's so sassy and cute. I was fun to watch Magic perform in this game outside of Battle Magic, right? Her ears wilted.
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate. I only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual.
No, again.
In any
Aw,
case,
she's
these two should
cringe.
serve as well. This one will bear a warding scale.
Well, that's just in your belly now.
And when they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption. If I could impose upon you to open the gate. Your Excellency?
Ah, yes, of course.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nadana safe from harm.
New side alert, water, froth, and foam. I wrote it down. I wrote it down.
As you say.
You had best be on your guard as well.
Froth and foam. She's gonna kill me.
Oh, are you volunteering to join the Nixies? I could shrink you down, you know. Let us begin, shall we? Nixies, into the void.
They're gonna die. Chat, they're gonna die. That was the most amazing scene ever. Oh my god. Froth and foam. Thank you all for the hype train. Thank you, thank you.
I think we've waited long enough.
Clip getting tagged in the clip channel. Thank you, Roxy. Thank you, thank you. Well, at this point, we moved on from colleagues to close friends with the Scions. Honestly, like a Rummerborn Warrior Light would have been able to get away with sassing your Stola. Stola would have cast, like, flare on you. Are you seeing all languages? Oh, Zermid, I need that desperately.
Nixies, return to my side.
Well, well. Oh, poor thing. Oh. Oh, great, now it has depression. Poor thing.
well.
It didn't deserve this, Stola. It didn't deserve this. Send me instead. Send me instead.
Poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
We're out of time. I must reseal the void gate.
Ew. Ew.
They're coming through.
Ew.
In the name of Al-Zidal III, I bar this door unto the void.
safe!
This Void OC ain't looking too hot.
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of void gates.
Kip, have a great night. Thank you for hanging out. See you soon. Sleep well. Have a great night.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
The unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent.
This is so sad. Put it out of its misery or something.
The one merged with the talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium.
Thank you for the bonk, Bitter. Thank you.
Rest now, little ones.
It's just Aether. You know, and that's why Hermes wouldn't like you, Roxy.
Graha's theory was correct then.
So it would seem. But while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows signs of degradation.
The talisman breaks down a bit. Ooh. I think all figures between the source and 13th are two-way, because Voidsent only typically try to come through following something. Okay.
It was, of course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently. We may need to modify the warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
You've said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
Ah, my apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives.
I love his
The
hair tie.
13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness. In Emmett Selk's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste, and made of that world a useless void. And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition?
Oh, they remember to call it Noah. God damn, I love this game. I love this game so much, chat.
I can picture it now. The sunless, Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities. A void in every sense of the word.
What you
Well,
have
look, we should
described in
avoid
such
it.
lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
Worry not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage.
Not till Layla gets the bonk. No, that joke was so good that I should at least get like 150 subs for it. Come on. Kane, how you doing?
A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new mysteries and discoveries. And I mean to be there every step of the way. But first, I must focus on refining the warding talisman.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos.
She wants her Catman? She does.
Or I could,
Be
if
down
I had
bad.
relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Sartrap's
Poor
family
Vritra is sitting here like completely traumatized.
Your Excellency?
Was that his sister's voice he heard?
Oh, yes. That can be arranged.
Was that his
I will
sister's
speak to my
voice?
officials upon our return.
Taleo theory. One of my patented insane theories.
We will see you back in the city then.
Bum 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 bum. But that's just a theory, a Taleo theory. Thanks for watching. You love Ritra? I love Ritra too. By the way, anyone got a snipe for Kane? Oh, the last quest of 6.1, y'all. Once Nenada succeeds in replicating the mark Atomos, the door into the 13th will be asked to open. Will you be crossing the threshold alongside us? This is more mine ever than yours.
To be honest, I've no interest in visiting the Void myself. Now we discuss this later. There's something I must do first.
Oral with a gifted sub, thank you! Dad's always asleep. Sister's been trapped in the world for 5,000 years. Another sister's brother's dead. The other two siblings lost in sorrow. I mean, Tiamat's back. You know, we got that. Oops, that one's random. Why does everyone insist on being so secretive? At least it's a good reason for not wanting to explain my Nixie ritual. We proceed to other preparations then. As we saw, the warding scale can be effective in protecting the bearer from other sources of etheric corruption. Nevertheless, the talisman's durability will need to be improved to withstand the void's influence for a prolonged length of time. I think that's the problem we can address without involving the brilliant but busy alchemist who created it. Who do we know who excels at this kind of structural augmentation? The Elegance. Garland Ironworks, I want to see my boy Sid. The first brood needs some therapy. They really do. An excellent suggestion. As I recall, Sid himself is no stranger to the void and his volatile energies. With his experienced hand at the helm, I have every confidence that the Ironworks can strengthen the warding scale. Come, let us visit the Operation Aralga's Reach and commission the best and brightest. As far as Midgar Stormer goes, I believe I heard somewhere that he's not 100% dead. Oh yeah, he's sleeping currently. He's been like reduced to barely any aether. Where? What? It just brought me to Ralga's Reach? What? I was not expecting me to just be teleported here. And suddenly, Alamigo. He's been regenerating ever since his battle with Agrius? I mean, yes, but also, like, the fight with Omega really took it out of him. It's like the Odin sleep where he goes into crazy hibernation to regenerate. I haven't thought about the Odin sleep in forever, Darth. Give you the teleport fee? I appreciate it. That's like 1,500 gil at least. I miss Midgar Stormer as well. Having little baby Midi just pop up alongside me sometimes.
Taleo, what brings you to the Ironworks? We have a commission for you and your president, actually, assuming he's available. Master Sid, certainly, I'll see you at his moment free.
No, I don't want to go back to Stormblood. No. I actually love Stormblood. Hey, it's my boy. Still I'll pay my teleport costs? I'm surprised considering how sassy I've been to her.
Pleasure as always. Hear you got a job for us. Heading to the Void to find a lost dragon. Sounds almost pedestrian compared to your last adventure. Honestly, I don't know if you could say anything that would surprise me after meeting you in a bloody mess.
Really? Stormblood, your favorite expansion? There were a lot of really good parts of Stormblood. I think that the weapon quest line was probably my favorite of the Trial series. I enjoyed some parts more than others. Yeah, I think Stormblood had a lot of really high highs and a lot of really low lows, unfortunately.
Alright, let's take a look at this talisman of yours. You said there were signs of degradation. It seems some manner of corrosion is setting around in scratch on its surface. Much of the void's corruption seeped into Nero through his wounds, in which case our best bet may be simply prevent the scale from being damaged in the first place.
How might we achieve that?
We have a coating agent for strengthening trinkets and the like, but I'd be wary of applying any compound which might upset the scale's delicate alchemical balance. Far favor to dress it in armor. Just gonna put it in a ball or something? I think your favorite part was Xenos?
Xenos!
Wait, Xenos? Is that a test of my reflexes?
A test of your reflexes.
We'll construct a protective casing, one utilizing metal alloys with high etheric conductivity, so as not to impede the talisman's primary function.
Suit of armor, as you said.
Nero has compiled data on the 13th, so I've been pitching with the design just to be sure. If only it wasn't such an ordeal to convince him to follow our safety protocols. I swear, I'm never such a reckless employee. In any case, we may need some time to untangle the particulars.
Understandable. We know how busy your schedule is, and final result will doubtless be worth the wait.
Twice the protection? Yeah, remember, chat, definitely use twice the protection. You have one condom on, why not two, right?
Ha! The hard part will be ducking Jesse in a constant barrage of demands while we sneak about doing the fun stuff. We'll see what we can do.
Just bring a second scale? And then just bring another scale for that scale, and then another scale for that scale?
We can leave the rest in Sid's capable hands. Let's return to the great work. As the Nidana is getting on with the Mark Atmos.
Two bulletproof vests. Drake, I wish I would have thought of that.
Hello, cuties.
All right, we're gonna go on a quick Taleo self-care minute. We got about 30 minutes left to stream, so we'll come back, finish 2.1. So just get up, stretch, get some water refill, and use the restroom, and we'll be back in about 2 minutes.
Right.
You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up. Up, 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 don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up.
For some reason, it auto-played. The next video, it went straight to Sonic Frontiers OST. Interesting. The cows have been murdered. Where? Oh no. Don't worry, I'll save you. Nope. Do I not have Play Dead? This is so sad. I don't have Play Dead, chat. Here, I'll float with you, Bill.
We all float down here.
Is an online emote? F, 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 F. Someone, no, don't mod gift me. Don't mod gift me. Y'all already do too much. This is nice. All of us floating in the water together, some of us dead. All right. I don't want someone to play the stalling way at me again.
Hey, Stola.
Hey, voice acting.
The adjustments are going well, I hope.
'Tis a lengthy process, but the end is in sight, yes.
That's wonderful news. I myself had some good fortune searching through the Satrap's private records. What I found was a transaction log dated around the same period as when Al-Zadal's legacy was built. It included a purchase list of highly exclusive alchemical components. And I knew I'd discovered the key to making the artificial atomos.
Taking the receipts to find out the ingredients. Smart girl. So when someone calls someone else a smart cookie, what type of cookie do you think they're talking about? Because, I mean, the best cookie is chocolate chip, but what's a smart cookie?
I then visited the High Crucible to commission the materials. After I'd explained my requirements, I was beset by volunteers insisting I allow them to help with the entire project.
The usual reaction to someone forcing open a void gate is to run for the hills. Harnish academics certainly are a different breed.
They are very intense about it. I wonder what they've done with Estinian's blood. You know? Fish cookie, terrifying.
Of old were cut from a similar cloth. The unknown held no fear for them. Indeed, they were ever eager to seek new knowledge, regardless of the danger.
Shortbread cookie, oatmeal raisin, snickerdoodle. I think y'all just listen your favorite kinds of cookies. Cookies and cream. Actually, you know what, Chris? That is big brain. Cookies and cream isn't a cookie, but it is kind of a cookie. So that's why it's the smart cookie. My wife makes the best snickerdoodles. My wife just makes the best cookies. That's how she got to my heart with anime and cookies. Thanks, I really want some cookies. Same, 7.
And were you not also fearless, heedless even, in your determination?
My sire entered his dormancy before I was hatched. And so it was Ashdaya who
Oh,
kept my eggs safe from war.
interesting.
It created a bond between us. Even long after I learned to fend for myself, I rarely strayed from her side. She was my guardian, my sister, my dear companion. And not a single day passes that I do not mourn her absence. No matter how deep the darkness, I would not surrender my search. I promised myself the time would come when we would once more take to the skies together. But I am satrap now.
The Radiant Host is here to serve, Your Excellency.
Nabdeen, what is this about?
Seestinian told us of your predicament.
Estinian!
For centuries you have protected Rads at Han, never showing your true self, hiding behind a curtain and living only in service to the people. Your dedication meant more to us than your deceit, and so did we accept you as our rightful ruler. After all that you have sacrificed for this nation, did you imagine we would begrudge you your heart's desire?
Oh.
We survived the final days. We are a strong and proud people. We, the Radiant Host, will keep Thavnair safe in your absence.
Ah, this is so adorable. It's also very confusing emotionally because I'm like, he's a little baby boy, he's a little child, and then I realize he's like thousands of years old and a dragon. I'm just having a very hard time connecting Vritra to this little boy.
I am grateful for your loyalty and for your encouragement. And yet...
Now you listen to me, Varshan. You are wearing that face, after all.
He just got scolded.
As I have told you before, you are a little brother to us all. And if you are family, then so too is your sister. We are there for you if you need us. But do not ask us to sit by and watch while you abandon a sibling you have ached to rescue for millennia.
This is so adorable.
We will succeed in opening the way. It is only a matter of time. All you need do is prepare to step through to the other side.
Thavnair is one of the best zones in the entire game, if not the best zone. I frickin' adore it so much. It's had so much like darkness and comedy. It's been the center of most of the story too. Like it and Garlemald have been like the big focal points. Thavnair is just so amazing. Want to hug him so badly? Same. He's all of our little brother. Stinian. It's the boy and his sister.
I wanted to thank you for building the orphanage. It means so much that my sister and I will have a place to be together, safe and happy. And I hope that you and your sister can be together again, too.
Man, Estinian's so cute. He went over and got everyone to encourage him. Will you wallow in uncertainty forever?
You're saying I should seize this chance?
The orphan child sounds like a grown-ass man. Hey, you had to grow up quick. Come on. Come on. Then we're good.
Take heart and protect them well. Such were the words I once said to you. And here I stand, failing to live up to them. If my heart is torn, I am fit to protect neither Ajdaya nor Radzathan. My people, I have come to a decision. Vashan will depart Thavnair for a time. My dragon self will remain in the palace, but only to conduct the satrap's most essential duties. While I am focused on controlling this vessel, there may be matters that escape my attention.
Justinian has Nidhogg's essence. I think Nidhogg is looking out for his brother that way too. That's so adorable. I love that headcanon. That's amazing.
I rely on you, my trusted friends, to watch over one another until I return.
Take care and fair fortune, little brother. Many tears would be shed should you come to harm.
I would not dare make you cry.
God, I love him. God, what a good character.
You surprise me, Estinian. For a lone wolf, you've shown an unusual degree of... What shall we... You surprise me, Estinian. For a lone wolf, you've shown an unusual degree of, shall we say, involvement in helping Richra reach this conclusion.
Was for the greater good. The worm's thundering sighs were keeping his citizens awake at night, and had travelers believing the palace racked by some unnatural storm.
Rude. Rude.
What of your own answer, then? You seem disinclined to venture into the void.
When I was one with Nidhogg, his vengeful thoughts were my thoughts, his endless rage my rage, and the soul-chilling grief he nursed for Ratorskir's death. I would not wish such an agony upon any foe, let alone a friend or ally. If there's a chance we can spare Vritra that pain, then I will follow you.
Any other former Scions we should call on? He has an excellent character growth. I love him. I love him too, Kashari.
Whether or not we bother our comrade with aught less than a dire threat to the star, we four should be sufficient for our purpose. Now, on to specifics. Unlike the first, where the flood of light was halted before its devastation was complete, the 13th has been utterly submerged in darkness. My plan as such is to explore the void in stages, withdrawing to safety after each brief foray. It would be more convenient having some manner of base camp nearer to the gate itself. One of the palace's chambers should serve. Come, let us reconvene outside the Megaduta.
So don't leave him in the markets alone. Calorist, I will try not to, but he's a sneaky guy. He'll try to find a way. How you doing, Cal? Welcome on in. How'd you find me? Rahatia's VA is also growing way? Yes. Yes, I was informed of that.
What? Someone need to give the boy a good talking to. You don't suppose I'll be reprimanded, do you? I did just yell at the satrap.
Adorable. Oh my god. Oh. Your YouTube video is stuck onto my feed to join your reactions? Well, welcome on in, Cal. Can I have your pronoun, by the way? I'll make sure you don't get misgendered. By the way, any snipers for Cal? Key? Gotcha. We'll do that after the quest, Tanaka. Good point.
And so we require suitable accommodations. We'll make something available for our guests.
All the chambers are presently hosting the great mounds of treasure we carried out of the vault. Once the Foundation's activities begin in earnest, however, we can redistribute the trove and make a room or two ready for habitation.
Man, bro, I got so much money, I ain't even got room for people in my house. Sheesh.
Good. Please inform me when you've completed the arrangements.
Will do, Sven.
As you heard, we'll have you settled in Megaduta in due time. As ever, you're most gracious, Your Excellency. You risk yourselves to aid me in my search for Ashjaya. Provided comfortable quarters is the least I can do. only wish we knew more about our destination. The gods only know how long our explorations might possibly take, what our chances of success might possibly be.
Plus, is time still working the same in that shard? Because I know that the firsts and ours were unaligned until recently. Are all of them aligned now? I guess it's a little confusing.
Succeed or fail, I'm grateful to you for convincing me to make the attempt. On that note, I'll return to the great work and what help I can to Nidana. Your preparations to make ere we venture to the 13th, now is the time.
All I need is my armor and my lance. Perhaps I'll train with the Radiant Host to pass the time before we depart.
They align when the plot needs them to? Oh! Gotcha, Cal.
You know what this means to me, Delael, but my purpose need not consume you as well. We're headed for another world. How much all you can in the experience, for you are a traveler, an adventurer at heart. This I know.
And with that, that's 6.1, I think. Bum, 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 bum. Unless there's a cutscene. Yep. Meanwhile, in the 13th. Now let's see if I remember the voices I used for these. 6.1, get. Meanwhile, the Legion of Doom. Do you think it's, like, bothersome for them to exit the shroud? Is that fucking Xenos? That fucking Xenos? Ew, ew, gross, ew.
And thus I am returned.
Unless that was like the Reaper Void Scent that Xenos made a pact with.
To this world, bereft of savours.
Intimidating. And we've done it! 6.1 completed, y'all! And we're gonna go create this free company. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What's happening? I'm assuming there's spam because there was a spoiler in chat. Spoiler, oh, okay, okay. Just look over and someone's like face mashing the keyboard.
$15,000 gil. I don't know if I have that.
Right. Oh, really late today. You are power. How you doing? We got time to spam Tanaka. Oh my God, Roro. Oh my God, Roro. What did you delete? There's so many things that got deleted. Oh my God. Oh my God. What did you do, Roro? Oh, okay, okay. My brain was like, did I forget to make housewarming gifts? Then I remembered you can't bid on houses for 30 days to join your free company. Oh. Click the button more than once. Panic, 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 panic. All right. So it is, in fact, 9:30, y'all, which means, unfortunately, it is the end of stream. So what I'm going to do is one last pitch before we head out. Right now, wait, Talael. I will wait, Tanaka. I'm doing a quick rundown of stuff. So we're doing one last shout out. I am currently sponsored, which is incredible. That I may be actually able to do this full time. So if you're really interested in helping out the channel and may be able to spare a little bit of money, there is a link below the video and also !factor. You just click this. It's a complete meal plan similar to how like HelloFresh does, except all of the food that you receive is completely pre-made. So instead of having to, you know, make everything, order out, just go to the store and waste a bunch of food, you can sign up with my link and you get 60% off. So for example, if you want 6 meals, $5.20 a meal, 31 bucks. That's almost a full week's worth of dinners for 30 bucks. So if you're interested in supporting me and getting the cheap and good food, just click on Factor or the link in chat, and it helps support the stream massively. So now that we're done with the plug, I can say goodbye to y'all officially. Oh, so thank you all so much for hanging out tonight. It was a fantastic stream, and I'm so glad that we're getting through the patch content now, because we're gonna be getting to actually experience the end game together. So I'm hoping to stream again tomorrow. So keep an eye on the Discord, !Discord mods if you could, and I'll be announcing tomorrow whether or not I'm streaming. The plan is to, depending, you know, health. So I'm going to be heading out. Everyone, I'm going to go raid someone, so let's figure out who to do, and we'll share our love. This song is so good. Oh, Oren's streaming. Easy. Let's go raid Oren. No Ara Ara? What? 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 I didn't see anything redeemed, but here, I'll give you an Ara Ara. There you go. You get an RR before you go. All right, so let's go raid Oren. Oh, oop. There you are, Tanaka, you degen. All I need is your like. All right, I'm heading out. Thank you all so much. I love you greatly, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Bye, y'all.